Hello everyone, Mark with Precision Computing. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a new product that's being launched from EK, the EK Velocity CPU block. There's many different versions available, including some with some RGB lighting. We're going to be looking at the copper plus plexiglass version. Stay tuned for the full unboxing and overview video. The EK water blocks that we'll be looking at are part of the new Quantum line, which is the top level of the EK water block family. Alright, so I just got these products from EK a couple hours ago. Haven't opened them up. Let's go ahead and open up the CPU block here. I'm also going to be doing the same style video on the Vector GPU block that they're launching and the backplate that goes along with it. So make sure that you check that out. First thing I can tell you here, which is really nice, is the box. Really nice picture of the product on the front. It says right on the top, high performance water block, copper plus plexi, so you know right off the bat what you're getting. On the back, there's some technical data, excellent cooling performance and thermal characteristics, industry leading G1/4 port threads, low flow restriction and pressure drop, mounting mechanism included made of high quality materials. There is no user manual. There's a QR code on the back of the box right here. Scan that with your smartphone, get your user manual. This includes the water block, the mounting mechanism, and a thermal interface material. So no fittings or coolant included. So we'll put this right over here. And let's go ahead and open the box. The first thing I was going to say is I can hear things rattling around inside the box. We'll set that to the side. On the top of the inner box, you have your EK logo, standard gray color box, nothing fancy there. There's a reminder on here, don't forget other EK products for your liquid cooling system, blocks, radiators, reservoirs, pumps, accessories, fittings. We all know that EK has such a wide variety of water cooling product available, and usually the most selection for CPU and GPU blocks. So it's actually really simple inside the box. Block. We have some Thermal Grizzly, not sure which version of their thermal paste this is. It doesn't say whether it's the Cryonaut, Aeronaut, but your Thermal Grizzly thermal interface material. And then we have our mounting. Looks pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and see what our screws are here. You're going to have one set, I would imagine, for AMD, and one set. Oh, my mistake. There is a separate Intel and a separate AMD water block. So you don't have numerous mounting solutions. You're going to buy the water block that's going to mount on whatever you want it to mount on. So if you have an Intel system, which it should be all the 11.5X sockets, 2066, 2011 V3, you're going to have your Intel kit, and you're going to have your one set of screws for your 11.5X socket, and your other set of screws for your 2011 V3 or 2066 socket. They do include, and this is kind of nice, you have your little plastic cutouts here that go in between the screws and the motherboard. So when you're screwing this down to the motherboard, so it just kind of gives a little cushion so you're not over putting too much pressure on that motherboard. They include 5, which is nice. So if you accidentally drop one as you're installing these things, which I have done numerous times, you can go looking for it, but you do have a spare. They do include an Allen key, which is for, I'm sure, taking the block apart, which we'll look at that in a second. And then, as I said, your 4 screws for 11.5X, your 4 screws for 2011 V3 2066, and then your hold down with your little spring, so it'll keep everything nice and tight. We do have a restrictor plate here, not currently installed in the CPU socket. I do see one that is installed inside the water block here. It looks like it's a little bit wider open than the one that we have here. So this one might be a little bit more restrictive. I'm sure there are some benefits to that that we would see from performance testing. And once you open it, it does have a sticker on here that's not going to allow you to open it and reclose it. Once you open it, you're stuck with it. Let's go ahead and get this out of the plastic so we can take a closer look at the block here. Now this thing's really nice. I mean, really nice. That plexiglass top is approximately 1/4 of an inch. So that's going to be maybe about 4 millimeters, maybe even 5. It's really nice. The finish is really nice. The milling on the copper inside the block, if we can get a better look here, I'll get you guys, try to get you guys the best that I can from this side of the camera. The milling on the inside of the copper is very nice and smooth and uniform all throughout, so we don't see any rough milling. Same with the plexiglass. You can, if you look very closely, you can see the tool marks, but when you're looking directly at the block, you can't see them. You actually have to look at an angle. So it's really nice. They slowed down the process to get a really clean cut. There is a little arrow here. This would be your input, and then there's an arrow here, or maybe this would be the input and this would be the output. Again, download the instructions. That'll tell you all about it. You have your Allen key here so that we can take apart the block for cleaning or for changing this restrictive plate, and you have a really nice copper finish on the bottom. The block is very flat, but with it being that nice, and you can see how thick that copper is, it's probably milled down a little on the inside of it. But if you even wanted to get that extra little bit of performance out of it, you could lap this block to make it perfectly flat. But it is relatively flat for me measuring just with a flat piece of metal there. So the mounting, of course, is going to be straightforward. As we said, these would screw down into your motherboard, and it gives you that perfect distance that you want on the top here. So this will be sticking out of your motherboard. You would put your screws on the top of that, and then you take your retention and you're going to screw that down, and that's going to put the perfect amount of tension. Now there's no Phillips head in the top of this, so you can't over tighten it. Well, I mean, you could. I'm sure you guys have a very firm grip, but there's no Phillips head. But it's just that easy. This screws into the mounting plate on your motherboard. This is going to give you the perfect space that you need to your Intel CPU. This little spring gives you the right amount of tension that you need to hold this block secure to your CPU socket. And that's it. It can't get much easier. So these EK blocks, the design is excellent. There are some RGB features with some of the other blocks. They have an all black top. They have one where this is chrome here. It's RGB lighting. They have an all nickel top and an all nickel block. It does right here at the bottom have your nice EK logo and then the Velocity name right there, so you know exactly what you're getting. But this sitting on your CPU socket in the middle of your custom water-cooled system, it's going to be a great presentation. It's going to look really nice with no matter what fittings that you want to put on here. I wanted the copper version for this unboxing and for some testing that we'll do later on, just because I really like the look of that copper block. Very nice. You can feel the weight of the copper. It's a relatively small, it's just the CPU block, but you can feel that it's very sturdy. This mounting plate here, very durable. Again, all of your, go ahead and put the sticker back on the bottom. I kind of like this too, to be completely honest. This is like, you know, caution. Not only does it say please remove before use, but the yellow with the black stripes, there's no way that you're going to put this on your CPU and mount it without removing that. A lot of other blocks will just have a clear plastic film on the bottom that just in quick, you pick up your block, you're not paying attention, you put it back down, and all of a sudden you're getting horrible temperatures. I've done it. This, if you look at that and you put that on your CPU, maybe you shouldn't be custom water cooling. Anyhow, we'll save that for another story. But first look at this block. It's one of the best products that I've seen launched from EK. And I can say that about the Vector that we're going to look at also. But you'll have to check out the other video to see that. For now, we're going to wrap this up. Thanks for tuning in for the initial look and unboxing of the EK Velocity CPU water block. Stay tuned for the next video. Stay tuned for the next review, the next mod. See you next time.